Hello everyone, MC Tammer here with a tutorial video on how to install mods for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I recently gained a handful of new subscribers and followers, and it occurred to me that not all of them may know how to install my mods. If that's you, hello and welcome. The first method I'm going to show you is the manual installation method, which doesn't require any additional tools, and it's how mods had to be installed back when the game first launched. Manual installation means extracting all of the mod's files directly into your data folder. This is not the cleanest, most efficient, nor most user-friendly way to do it. I know this, but it works. The downside to this method is that it'll clutter up your folder, and if you want to uninstall the mod later, you'll have to go in and delete each file individually. If you miss one, it will sit there in the folder, taking up space on your drive, but it won't do any harm otherwise. But Tammer, if this method is so inefficient, why are you doing it this way? It's because, as a mod creator, it's more convenient for me to have direct access to the files. If they were bundled into an archive, then every time I wanted to change something, I would have to boot up an archive extractor tool, load the archive itself, extract the file, make my changes, and then recompile the archive afterwards when I'm done. The manual installation method, on the other hand, means that the files are all right there for me, ready to go at a moment's notice. This is perfect for my particular circumstance, and it does work. So if you want to jump in and start modding your game, think of this as the quick and dirty way, and the downside is something for future you to deal with. So to get started, first open up the mod you downloaded. In this case, I'm using my NIF Bashed Weapons Mega Pack. Next, find your Fallout 3 or New Vegas data folder. This is the directory where you installed the game. For Fallout 3, it's the same folder where fallout3.esm is located. And for New Vegas, it's where falloutnv.esm is located. So copy the file path, and then go back to the downloaded mod. Click Extract, and paste the file path into the prompt. Then click OK. I'm not actually going to do it because I already have all of these files installed, but I think you get the idea. Okay, now that we have the files installed, we need to tell the game to actually look for them and use them. So that means we have to enable the plugin. The old school tools free way of doing this is to run the game launcher, click on Data Files, and then tick the checkbox beside the plugin's name. This is fine if you only have one or two mods, but in most cases this is where you'll want to install a mod manager. Lots of options are available, but I personally like to use Fallout Mod Manager. A link to this will be in the description below. It's old and somewhat outdated, but it does everything I need it to, so I have no reason to ditch it. The main benefit of using a mod manager is that it allows you to rearrange your load order. The way the game works is that changes made by plugins closer to the end of a load order take precedence over changes made by plugins higher up. For example, let's say we have two mods that both change the base game 9mm pistol. One changes it to shoot 10mm ammo, and the second changes it to shoot 45. Whichever one is loaded later wins, and the change made by the one loaded earlier is ignored completely. This is why sometimes people will tell you to move a mod lower in your load order to fix a bug, for example, because the problem might be that it's getting overwritten by another mod later in the load order. So when you first boot up the mod manager, it will automatically list the name of every ESM and ESP file in your data folder. ESMs are master files and are always listed at the top, while ESPs are plugins and are listed after the master files. To enable a master or plugin, all you need to do is tick the checkbox beside it. To disable it, untick the checkbox. You can rearrange your load order by clicking and dragging the plugin to its new spot. A side note, when you do this, notice that this 2-character hexadecimal code beside the plugin name will change. This 2-character code is called the mod index, and you'll need it if you want to use console commands to spawn items that were added by a mod, for example. That's outside the scope of this video, but when someone provides you with a console command and tells you to swap out the first 2 characters with the appropriate mod index, this is what they're referring to. Anyway, now that the files are installed and the plugin enabled, all that's left to do is start up the game and enjoy your modded experience. This next section deals with something I don't use myself, so I'm not all that familiar with it, but I'm going to try anyway for the sake of completeness. Where the old school manual installation method is dirty and inefficient, this is the current modern standard for installing mods. The core principle is unchanged, but it's more streamlined and beginner friendly, and everything can be done using a single tool, Mod Organizer 2. After downloading it from the link that I'll leave in the description, there may be some setup required after installation. Unfortunately, as I said, I'm not all that familiar with this program, so I'm not qualified to walk you through that part. Rather than risk sharing incorrect information, I suggest you find a dedicated tutorial for installation and then come back once you've got it up and running. I'll link to the tutorial that I used, but fair warning, I installed this several years ago, so there's no guarantee this tutorial is fully up to date. Anyway, with Mod Organizer 2 installed and running, all you have to do is click on File, then Install Mod, navigate to wherever you downloaded the mod to, select it, and click Open. From there, just follow the prompts, and that's all there is to it. Mod Organizer 2 lets you run mods directly from the zip file, so there's no need to extract anything. This keeps everything neat and uncluttered. The list of plugins appears here on the right-hand pane of the window, and you can enable or disable plugins by ticking the checkbox just like before. And the mod index is shown right here beside it, again, just like before. So that's all I have for you today. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching, and happy modding!